Okay, so continuing the game here, we're about to start the year 1612 and we come out with malaria. Every colony in the jungle suffers and we have no colonies in jungles, so... Oh, sorry, yes we do. We have Essequibo is a colony in the jungle. So that goes down a size. Bout of malaria there. Capitalisation. The Marquis de Cordoba has to pay for his hacendado to come back. He doesn't have any money, so the bank pays it just to keep that player in the game. The Buccaneer has a Compagnie de Merchants to pay for there. Council of Foreign Plantations is coming for Duke Ketter, and Sir Francis Drake has to pay for his mill upgrade. That's the capitalisation. Now on the skullduggery front, neither of these two have any money for skullduggery, so we'll go straight to the auction. We have Sir Henry Morgan, Buccaneer King, infamous in reggae songs of Jamaica. Now he's a fleet. He has a fleet of ships. They're just barks, not galleons, but still. He still needs a fleet, seeing as he lost his one. Everyone would like to have more, but only these two have gold to bid. He bids one, and Sir Francis Drake's cursing he hasn't got money because he would win the bids. It's the same nationality as him. And this fella has higher crown than the Brethren of the Coast, so he wins on 1 gold. He gets the Buccaneer King, comes into action straight away, and he has a ship rating of A, the best in the game. Best shipman of the lot, even better than Drake, so he could be useful in combat against Drake. Something to be feared there. It's sort of lucky to get him at such cheap price, I reckon. So we go to unit action. So Brethren of the Coast first, and they are piratical. They need to do something piratical. The best they could do is raid the colony here and steal a gold from coffers. There's a soldier on it. He doesn't have any. He's going to have to outfit some troops, an armed band on his pirate vessels. So if he goes up against this, he could. Just need to check the rules if you have to do outfitting and so forth in a certain order. I don't think you do. Yes, it doesn't say it's a strict order. The stages happen in a strict order, but phases in a stage, I don't believe they do. Okay. Yeah, so he could actually bring this from his colony, which though would then leave it open to Francis Drake, who is a pirate. So he's only got 2 soldiers. I think he's going to have to put 2 soldiers on his colony, and he's going to trade. No, sorry, he can't trade with his own colony, can he? There's a colony he can trade with, and that is here. And this fellow is going to grant it, just being in fear of the other players not trading with him, so him getting nothing. So they'll get 2 gold for that. He's going to move through Tortuga because he's based there, so he knows there's no other pirates going to threaten him, and sails off to Europe with those, or relays them on some European shipping vessels, I guess. Now next up is Francis Drake. He is piratical, so he can just raid anywhere, and this is the only fellow with gold at present, so he's going to raid the colony here. We might keep friendly. He says, okay, give me 2 gold and I won't destroy it. Because he's got 2 soldiers, and this guy could give him 2 gold and then he might destroy it anyway. But Drake wants to keep friendly with him in case of later actions, although that's not really necessary, because later it really depends on, even if someone was your sworn enemy, later on you might trade with them because it's to your mutual advantage, or your own advantage, and it's to his but you're worried about your own, so it's not really necessary to keep in good favours with someone. It's just that they then might perform a vendetta against you, which it wouldn't necessarily win them the game, so it's probably a fake action that I'm doing in doing that, but that's okay. I'm just showing you what's possible. Okay, so now the merchant marines under Duke Keta will trade with themselves very happily. And they should have bought a fort. They should have started capitalising a fort. I guess it's very necessary. But then so should have. With these pirates out, you need a fort. And they did have the money for it. Anyway. The Marquis can do nothing at present. Well, he could raid. These Cimarrones here could get cross land and raid that there, but they don't have enough troops. Are they size 1 or 2? I can't remember. And they're just size... No, they're 2. Okay, that'll be a later time. Okay, so that's the actions. Now we do have upgrades. So this comes online. Company of Merchants in St. Christopher on the Leeward Islands. Here. A French colony, so he can trade with it despite being piratical. So Francis Mill comes online, although no one's trading with that at the moment, so he's a bit miffed. And the Hacendado comes back, so he's back in business, and I think comes back at size 1. Starts the game at 3. But yeah, that's my interpretation. I'm not sure if that's correct. because the other player characters, even if they get at size 3 and they're disrupted down to 0, they will come back at 1. I'm not sure how that's going to grow, only through population growth over time, so that's fair enough, I think. He suffered a big setback. So, initiating upgrades. So he's definitely going to initiate a fort. He's going to initiate a fort. And Drake's going to initiate a fort, though he doesn't have much money for it. And this fellow is going to initiate a fort too. Although this guy can always destroy forts just for the cost of 2 gold, so it's tricky. You spend 3 gold in 3 years to get that fort. You can demolish it with 2. So we'll see how that works out. But otherwise it's necessary for against Drake and anyone else. And then we advance the... Oh, didn't reset the profit, so this fellow gets 4 profit. And Drake gets absolutely zilch. Marcus gets mistakenly set him up as though he was traded with. Oh yeah, no, he traded with him, didn't he? Yeah, so the Marcus gets 2 and he gets 2. Okay, set that back to 0. So Drake gains 2 that round, but that was all. He needs another fleet to trade with this. Okay, so then we go to 1613. And we have malaria again. So these ones, poor guys, have been suffering for 2 years. Malaria in the jungle. There's only a 12% chance of that coming out each time. Then we have capitalization, so I think everybody's capitalizing something, aren't they? So only 1. Oh, the Duke's got 2 there, Marcus 1. Okay. Skullduggery, no. And auction. So here we have a Mordida card. A silver smuggling. Allows trade with Portobello in Panama. You can make a quick silver fleet. I don't know what that is. Sack and pillage a colony in Panama. Now Panama is here. Allows trade with Portobello in Panama. Okay, that's interesting. So for 1 gold you can trade so I guess the Panama won't get any Portobello. Is that? Oh, I think that might be considered owned by the treasure player. So if he traded it, he might get it. The Marcus. I'm not sure. I'd have to check that up. Okay. Smuggling ports are indicated on the map by red lettering. That's not Portobello. Okay, but still, it mentioned smuggling. Profits collected by the smuggling port convert into soldiers and these kinds. Okay, so what happens is if you trade, If the owner of this spends a gold, they can trade with Portobello. Portobello will gain a soldier for each gold traded. The fleet will sail off with its gold. In this case it's silver, it's smuggling. And then later you can spend 4 gold and use those to sack and pillage a colony in Panama. Or you just spend 4 gold and that's considered done, but also with the soldiers there they could do the same. And then the Quicksilver fleet. So for 1 gold you can configure a fleet into a Quicksilver fleet this year. Peruvian Mercury. Those so designated act as other merchant fleets, except in exchange for every profit they collect, they raise the size of the colony they are trading with by 1. I'm not sure what that means. If it means that if someone has the Portobello colony card, if there is such a thing, and you trade with it, or if you can trade with any silver colony such as the one Drake has. No, but it's Quicksilver, which is Mercury. I mustn't get those confused. Now, Quicksilver fleets can only increase the size of silver mines. Okay, yes, so you could smuggle with that. So that's going to be really great. Right? Whoever gets that, and also for Drake. So we are auctioning it. He bids 1, well, it goes 1, 1, 1. And he'll have to go 2 to get it. But does it benefit him? Not really. It does benefit him. But he hasn't got a fleet that could trade with it. But he could configure someone else's fleet. I think Drake's going to get it. I don't think any of those others are that interested in it. Okay, so he gets it for 1. And then we go to unit actions. So this fellow could now start trading with this, and it might need some soldiers in there. So he's going to put 1 soldier in there. And he's going to trade 1 with his own colony there, and 1, if he allows, and it says yes, of the colony there. Now Drake could attack Santo Domingo, which is back on the map, Santo Domingo again, and just disrupt him again, set him back again. Which I think would always be possible, so that guy would never be able to get going. Maybe he does come back as a 3. I'm going to have to stop the video and check out some rules. Yeah, so he's definitely going to be at size 1, and yes, this silver mine can he can configure a fleet to trade with that and raise its size, but it won't be able to be him. Now, so what? I've lost track of where I was in the game till now, but I think basically he's saying he will extort money from him not to disrupt him again, is the way it's going to be. So I think I just did the auction, didn't I? So now we're on to unit actions. Okay, so he's traded with him and him. That was it. So it is his turn. So he says, look, give me gold, and then give me gold every every monkey year, and I will not disrupt your hacendado. And he has to agree, or else it's going to be out. And this fellow will just merrily continue trading with himself, and he cannot do really anything. He's going to lose that fort that he's capitalising, because he won't have any gold. So Francis Drake says, tough. That's what he wanted anyway, to keep that. Oh, this fellow can do something as well. So he could trade with him, or him. Francis Drake's doing too well. He's got a lot of money, but he's dicey. He's far behind. So I think it's safe to trade with him. So Henry Morgan's just going to do a bit of honest trading. Or I could discard him and bring this fleet up to 3, but he's such a good has such good ratings. Let's trade with this fellow, provided he's agreeable, which he is. Okay. So that's all the unit actions. Anyone initiating any upgrades? Only he's really got the money for it. Okay, so no. Mature upgrades, no mature cards. This one comes on. A colony in Barbados, in the Windward Islands. Which is good news for Drake, because he can now start trading with that. And I should have done the profits. So profit of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I use a white one to denote 5. He's got nothing, just that one he extorted. He's got nothing. No, he's got 1. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. Okay. And he's... I didn't say where they traded back through. He's been trading through Tortuga Zone, noticing that that's probably where he is based, because he has... This one had no... He could have... Yeah, he could have intercepted. Maybe next time. Okay. So we go to 1614. Treasure year up next. And our card is malaria again. So Essequibo is disrupted and out. We'll go up for bidding. Oops. And he's skullduggery. Well, he could increase his fleet up, but he needs to populate some soldiers in that first. So he could pay for some skullduggery. He suggests to him, look. No, he doesn't want to have anything to do with Drake to help him, because Drake's winning at present. And he could say to him, look, I'll give you 6 goals, raise my fleet to size, I'll trade with you, but no, he's got a lot of, we'll see what happens after this treasure year. Okay. He could offer him increase of fleet size, which will then enable him to raise up. So he's going to do that actually. He's going to say, look, I'll pay you 2 gold if you increase my fleet size. So he has to pay 4 for that Mordida to happen, and gives him 2. Okay. And so he increases Henry Morgan up 1. Okay. Nice bit of skullduggery. So he's got a lot of money. He's kind of happy with that. And we'll see he's a threat now, but he wants to get going too. And so he says, okay, that's good. I'm not going to spend that yet. And we go to an auction, and we have here Filibuster Bertrand d'Ogeron, Spices, French colony in Grenada, in the Windward Islands. That's kind of nice because you can zip off quite quickly without travelling through too many possibly shark-infested waters. You can't go in and out, you have to go in and out of one of these, that is the thing. It's because you're following the winds, the pirates know that. Who's going to bid for that? Well, it looks like this guy's in the money now. It's French, and he's French, so he's going to win. And he gets it for 1, because these guys need their money to outfit their fleets. So that's going on 2 years on the capitalisation track. And now he goes first. So straight away he fills his fleet with armed bands. And I'll do some piracy, methinks. He could knock that out. Because it does not have a fort. Oh, he could knock the Hacendado out. He doesn't have any. He could extort from him, and Hacendado's having to pay 2 people and never get going. He says, look, I'm going to do that. I will do that unless you make me a treasure. Let me carry treasure next year more than anyone else. And Hacendado says, yes, of course I will. He has to say that, but we'll see what the others have to say to that. So he is going to... Is he going to trade, or is he going to attack that? He's got 1 more year in which he can attack that. can't remember how Siege happened. I think he would lose a soldier and he would go down a size. He's size 2, so he could lose 2 of his soldiers and take that right out. But that's kind of crippling himself. Yeah, he can sack it. That's it. He's not going to lose anything, so he attacks this. Which is really devastating for Drake. He's put a lot into that, and that fort's going to be useless now. Unless he transfers it to another player, sells it off. So, the Brethren of the Coast raid Santiago, Puerto Principe in Cuba, and destroy the mill and the silver mines there. That's gone. I'm disappointed. I'm looking forward to seeing those getting into action. And so that makes this Quicksilver Mordida useless for now, but an effective action. Though it hasn't gained him any gold this turn. He could do it next turn, because he's got one more turn before the fort is capitalised. He's going to trade one with this and one with this, and okay, now Drake needs some protection there. I think that's what we're going to do. He has to cling on to that, and so he swaps soldiers around, and then he trades this plantation here, which is only going to gain him 1, but that's all he can do at present. So yeah, actually he should have done that before Drake had a chance to man it, but that's what's happened. Curses! He says, curses! I have my chance. It's getting greedy. But he needs the money. He's going to get bigger. He's going to rule the waves as a pirate king is his goal. This fellow has 2 size 2 fleets. Puts protection in there. I didn't say where they... So this fellow sailed in here, traded here, sailed in here, traded here, and then sailed straight off. He's based in New Providence, so he can't intercept that. Now Drake sails in here. I haven't put a standout for this one yet. That's in Barbados. Oh, I did, didn't I? Yes, there. Okay, sails in here, trades with that, and then straight off through there. Now this fellow is based in Tortuga still. I could have swapped him around. So Drake's fine. Now this fellow sails in his 2... Okay, this fleet sails in trades here, going through Caraco, so fine. And then he's sailing off through Saint Martin. So that's 2 and 2. And he's got another 2 he can trade here. So one with him and one with him, and everyone's happy with a bit of trading going on. So that the other one sails up here and goes out through there. Otherwise he would go to Tortuga where he's based, could be attacked. Everyone seems to be safe there, so he's taking that route and makes it off. And he doesn't have any fleets, and he's not basing. Is he going to base someone? Yeah, he bases this. On his Hacendado to afford it some protection. That's the end of that, so we reset profit levels 1, 2, 3. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. He's going full guns. Drake, a measly 1. That's all he needs to capitalise his fort. And the Marquis is 2. Okay. So everybody is more or less satisfied with that. Upgrades, initiating upgrades. He's going to buy into a fort. Right. He's going to buy into another fort. 1, 2, 3. He'd better not do anything. He'd better not do anything. And mature upgrades, no, 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 no. Okay. And no mature cards, so we advance. Turn. And we have the all-important treasure flotta turn. So, I'm tempted to allow, there's the treasure, allow piracy of these, because that's going to gain that, but then he will gain 1 too. So I think I'm going to keep it straight. There's no piracy of the whole treasure tents. So it's going to be squabbling over who's going to get the privilege to carry it. The yearly card. It gives us smallpox. Each heathen colony loses a size. They don't do so well. Capitalization. He's got 2, 3 in fact. Oh dear, been overspending a bit. He's got 2. He's got 1. And he's got 1. Skullduggery. Now here's where it is. He needed some to increase his. Oh well, so he said to him, okay, I would give you 2 tents, and he's going to keep to that. So he's spending 1 on skullduggery. He says, look, you're going to have to pick that up, because no one's going to trade with me this turn, and this guy goes, no. He says, yes. He says, oh, okay, curses. So he's designated for 2 of these, but who's going to get the other 2? Courland. So he's going to end up with 2, and they'll end up with 1 each. So he'll end up with 3. And everyone else will have 1. And he's going to be winning even though he's doing nothing. Which is why I think it's good to open this up to Piracy. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to open it up to Piracy. So he says, I'll grant you 2. And he can't grant 1 each because it's not divisible. So he'll grant the other 2 to Drake. But if he does that, then Drake stops being a pirate. He's given like an exemption. Which is a bit cheap. So he's going to give it to Courland. Yeah, because he's already got one. Drake has. So it says 2 for you and 2 for you. There you go. Yep. Okay. Thank you very much. Any more skullduggery? No. Okay. So we go to auction this card, which is Tobacco Hacienda in Santiago de Cuba. Everyone's kind of more or less interested, but people aren't exactly cash rich. You better not spend that in case no one trades with him this turn. So this fellow's going to get it. He's the only one in the offing. He's going to get it for a cheap price on 1. And 2. Does he really want that? He can upgrade it, but he's got this he can upgrade. No, no one wants it. That's going to go. So that's ignored. Okay, and now the unit actions. Okay, so this fellow loses his pirate status and his pirate basing. And sails up to Cartagena and Portobello. Ah no, you can't, so that's against the wind, so he has to sail from Portobello to Cartagena, and then I'll go out through Saint Martin, no, through Tortuga, because he knows that's safe. Okay. Now Drake, you could basically sail through and pick up both of those. Because they are unfortified. He could have put soldiers in them, but no, he hasn't had the wherewithal. Uh-oh. Which means Drake's way ahead in the lead. No one's going to be able to catch him unless we get another treasure here. Okay. So you can see that's what he does. He sails in here. Well, no, he sails from out of his hidey hole, which is in New Providence. So he sails out from New Providence to Havana, to San Juan, then Havana, and out through New Providence, knowing it's completely safe. With all the treasure, goodness me. Maybe I shouldn't have just brought that in there. So it's either him or him that was going to be running away with the lead. And for me, it's more interesting that it's Drake for this game. He won the last game, the Marquis. Okay, that's Drake. So now that's this fellow. Oh, hang on. No, he's only got one soldier there. I could take one off his Silvermane. Yeah, so he's going to have two soldiers to take this. Two. And that goes straight into his coffers. As per the rules. Okay. So now Corlin's like gasping. He's like, look, I'm working so hard and I have nothing to show for it. And I think he's basically going to turn pirate. I don't know. It seems to me a little bit unsatisfactory, this situation, because the treasure fleets determine essentially who's going to win, because everything you earn otherwise is paltry compared to what you get from the treasure fleets, whether it's by piracy or being designated to carry it. And so everything else is just jockeying position for that. Interesting. So what's going to happen is, for the next treasure fleet, there's going to be pirates here, here and here. People are going to be fighting to intercept. That's what will be the decider. So that's what Corlin's going to have to do. He's got the best fleet in the business. He's going to have to turn pirate, but he has to bide his time for 10 years planning for that. Okay, so he's just going to have to trade two and two here, and he's going. However he does it, he's going through. It doesn't matter where he's going through because there's no privateers on board. And two there. So he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven, because he'd done one with that. And so he actually only gets one. And they split them there. So now he's on 52 gold, he's on 27, he's on 12, and he's on 75. Initiate upgrades, no. But none of that is spendable gold, so he's got no cash to outfit and so forth. And in fact, what it's going to mean, haha, this could be the beginning of his downfall. So he's got nothing to pay for the capitalization of his fort, so he's going to lose that, which means his Silvermane will be open for destruction. Okay, so his fort comes online. He puts it on there because that's the most valuable one for him, trading with himself. His fort comes online, and his fort comes online, so he's secured his hacendado there. And he's going to go for an upgrade. Initiates an upgrade. And so will he. Okay, and that is the end of that year, and I'll have to stop here for now. So we're in a very interesting position where it's panned out. Essentially, someone else has to steal either he or he needs one more treasure chest, as it were, to equal Drake. He needs 2 and he needs 3. So he could gain his in like a legal way. He could gain his in the legal way, so one of them in a legal way and the other one for him. But then he needs another one to equal those 2. So he'd have to gain that by piracy, because if he gains 2, then he gains 2 if it's legal, which doesn't work out. So he's going to have to gain 1 legally and 1 piratically, or 2 piratically, and he's going to have to gain 3 piratically, and he has to gain no more. So these ones are going to be massive pirates and looking to hunt down those treasure fleets. So we will have some fierce sea battles in 10 years' time. Oh no, his fort does come online. It's matured. Okay, so his silver mine is protected. Okay. That's it for now.